It's time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying a first round where we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 222. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, all things FanFest 2021. We'll talk about the new trailer, all the big reveals from Yoshi P's Keynote. We'll cover the 5.55 news from Live Letter 64. All the panels, the concerts, the feels. We'll look at the Collector's Edition and 14 Home Shopping Network, and whatever else we could fit into 2 hours. This might be a long one, y'all. But first, let's shoot the shit. What has been going on this, I don't want to say week, Ruby. What's been going on?
Where have you been?
I wasn't the one.
What is going on? Where have you been? Where have I been? It's been a few months. It's been a minute, but I really appreciate all the listeners and those that care about Yelta and I that have reached out and said, "Where the F are you?" And we're here. We're back. We never quit. One thing is, if we ever decide to pack it up, we will tell everybody that we decide to pack it up. We're not just going to leave you hanging. But we hadn't packed it up. I was packing up. I had a lot of stuff that was going on, and I won't drone on and on because we have a lot of Final Fantasy stuff to talk about. But I had a lot of stuff going on, and I for better or worse, I can call it a mental health break. Not that I was at limit break or anything, but I just had a lot of stuff that was going on IRL, between governors lifting mask mandates and my job going wild, between ice storms, new property, new adventures, just all kinds of stuff that's happening in my personal life. But everything is good. Everything is in a good spot. And so I'm here by the power of the internet in my own little home office now. I hope my acoustics are better. I hope that we're able to bring you some good stuff for as long as we're able, or as long as we want to, right? Our motto is as long as we're having fun, we're going to keep doing it. Mm-hmm. Well, I'm still having fun. And I had a lot of fun watching all of the stuff that we're going to talk about today. I will say that in-game, it's been sporadic. You know, I moved, so I had to get my internet going. The internet was not going so well at the beginning, but after I got rid of a bunch of splitters and got my internet, my cable going one direction, internet has been better. And I was able to get my chicken costume for the Easter event. And, I periodically checking on my house because, you don't have to play this game unless you own property in the game. And then you have to play at least every 45 days or you lose said property, right? Isn't that the number? If it's not, you got to log in fairly often. So I logged in, checked on the house, and then most recently I played Blue. I think a mix of, and I'm still right now, as we speak, sucking the Butterfinger out of my teeth. We bought a shitload of Butterfingers so we could get mounts, and my Cinna got her mount, and we logged in, and we decided to do a little Blue Magin. So we power leveled to 60. So Cinna's at 60, I think 62 now, and I'm 65. And then yesterday we did spell farming, and we just did all open world spells. So we went through and got, I don't know, it was like 25 or 30 spells, something like that. So for her, I had most of them, but there was a few that were in Heavensward areas that I did not have. So got those knocked out. It was fun. I like Blue. I did a couple of the Mass Carnival things that I had not done and beat a couple of them that I had not previously beaten. So that was fun. And we look at it as like a dip your toe in the water because, we got to pre-order. We got to get our Memphina earring. We've got to level jobs to 80 and do our road to 6.0 job prep because we got a long road. It's a long road. But we'll be doing that, which will lead us into all the other content. So there's a hunger for more than just Butterfinger. We're logging in, and Blue is just whatever we decided to start with. I think it's kind of a fun mini game, right? So anyway, That's where I've been. I'm back. And hopefully I see you in game. But Yelta, you've been playing, so tell us what you've been up to.
I've been playing some. I took, of course, the last patch. I took patch day off. Pretty much did the patch the whole day. And then I pretty much just pop on if we're going to do we do a lot of Saturday night diamond EX farming or whatever we feel like doing. We did, there was the screenshot contest if you do the level 70, was the level 70 maps?
Okay.
I don't remember. Yeah. And do the Unzar or whatever it was. I can't remember how you say it. Mm-hmm. So anyway, a bunch of us got a whole bunch of maps, and we spent I don't know how long, because you had to take the screenshot at the last floor.
Oh.
So you had to actually get out. Yeah, so we got our screenshot and did a few more maps. So and then some Bosja, some Castrum, some that kind of, mostly just when somebody posts on the Discord, hey, anybody want to?
Yeah.
So I really like it when people post on the Discord, because then if I'm needed, I'll go. If I'm not needed, I won't go. But then I've just been doing the new Mog tomes too. There's a ring I don't have, and I think there's a hairstyle in there I don't have.
That ring looks cool. I kind of like it.
It's cute enough. I just kind of pretty much ended up in cutscene MSQ roulette mostly, which is fine with me. I can run around, murder things, heal people, and watch a video on the other monitor or chat with the party. Sometimes we chat with the party. So I've been keeping busy, not too deep, but I also don't want to burn myself out pre anything. So I kind of mostly been taking it easy. But yeah, as far as personal life, same old. I've actually started looking at houses because we've been, we were told at work that we are work from home forever. There is no plan to get us back in the office. They're closing our office.
Wow.
Yeah, so they said that the work from home stuff has been working so good. So I thought I might actually start looking for a house further away from where I used to work. So they actually get cheaper down there. So if I disappear for a little while, that'll probably be my excuse.
It's a good one.
Yeah,
it's acceptable.
It's a good one. It's acceptable. But no, everything's been good. The hype is real, of course, for Endwalker.
Yes.
So, yeah. All right, listeners, you can shoot the shit with us on our website. Go over to www.gtffxiv.com and let us know what you've been up to. We have a very special bought us around. We have Drill. Thank you for sending us a pledge. That was awesome.
Thank you.
All right. The first round is, of course, News FanFest 2021. Well, we're just going to pull up the schedule of events and kind of go through. I right away popped into voice chat. A bunch of us popped into voice chat together, and we're watching it and chatting and oohing and ahhing. So, of course, the keynote address was the big one for a lot of us. What did we have else on there? Opening ceremony? I don't even know. I think I was so drunk by the time they got to How Do You Like Heidelin, I think I went to bed. I had to come back and watch the dev panel and the piano performance and stuff the next day.
I fell asleep on the couch. I was watching the first night on the couch, and I fell asleep somewhere around How Do You Like Heidelin kind of came to for the piano performance, I think. So I think I saw that one, or at least part of it, live, but I too went back for the VOD on that one.
And then day 2, we had an opening. We had the letter from the producer live, Glamour to Life showcase, live Q&A, flashback with the cast, Who Wants to Be a Gillionaire, and the band performance. Some of these I tuned out for too, especially the ones that were in all Japanese. I couldn't follow along.
Yeah, same stuff. And of course they had a VOD of this, and so we went back and watched some of the things that we missed from the VOD. So, all good stuff.
All right, then the keynote. We are gonna steal Nova Crystallis' notes again. Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
So you always line stuff up so nice that it's hard not to steal it. So, All right, so it started. Oh, first, Tony gives us a recap. This is stuff we already knew, so we'll just go over it super fast. We're getting a healer job named Sage. The level cap's going to go to 90. 5 new role quests. Trust system's going to be updated to include characters such as Astinian. They're doing the battle calculation number crunch, so that needed to happen. Belts are being removed completely. Small-scale PvP mode will be added. The new 8-man is going to be called Pandemonium, and it's original to Final Fantasy XIV. Mm-hmm. We're getting Island Sanctuary in the 6-point-whatever series. That's going to have a slow-living type of content. Ishgard's going to be the new residential district, and data center travel will be possible to other data centers. So that's the stuff we knew from earlier.
Nice.
So I think let's just start right off with the this trailer of Endwalker.
Yes. Because I mean that's what they smacked us with, right? As soon as it cut to what we're going into, we got slapped in the face with the full trailer.
That's the meat. All right, so it is a 6-minute trailer.
Oh yeah. What did you think? Like just overall, not like bits and pieces, because we'll talk about that. But like, were you in love? Because I was enthralled. Like this, it sold me.
I like Shadowbringers one better.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm. I like Shadowbringers one better, but that doesn't mean anything, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I maybe the themes just caught my eye better or whatever.
It seems like they're cramming a lot into this because there's a lot of stuff in here. I can say I took some notes about what we've got, and just to kind of run through some of the stuff because we may be cutting this portion out.
Sorry.
So some stuff in the trailer that I really thought that stood out to me was the music just in general, but like it had that kind of grunge sound, whatever the new theme is.
Oh, it was very Nirvana. It was
very Nirvana.
Like, yeah.
And I noticed some themes in the music. They talk about Fade Away a lot in that first part, and it kind of circles back around at the end. But there's another really nice part that's got Amanda Aiken singing it, and she's talking about Higher. And I think there's going to be, I mean, obviously the moon is a theme about going up high, but we've seen some images like floating cities and things. And there's some interesting comments about that we might be able to talk about in speculation at the end. But, so we start off kind of walking on the moon. We look super Asian as we're walking through, with the light behind us and the cloak on top of it. Mm-hmm. And then it's just kind of real moon for a bit. It's kind of boring, but then they finally bust into Alize and Alphino, and they get a little bit into like what's going on with the storyline, and they keep repeating this, but I believe we're getting into where the world is going to fall apart, like what was going to happen to the Asians before they summoned Zodiark. There's a lot of that through the narration, but as like the fires like burning everything, then Alize and Alphino are doing their thing. We get to see Warrior of Light, Meteor, Derplander, as the Paladin, of course, using the shield. And then we've got Sage being shown. We've seen that before, but it's just kind of reiterates that. I think it's important that we see the twins here because of what Final Fantasy IV means for having Palom and Porom. I think I've been saying this, Yelta. I've been talking about this, but I really think that there's going to be that moment where Alize and Alphino get turned to stone. Something bad is going to happen.
Something bad's going to happen.
And they really needed to put them in front of us during this trailer so we can see them together. And we'll see a little bit later. There's more family involved. And I think that's also going to be a tying point. Just whipping through here. We see Astinian. He comes down on Vitra. It's badass. They put the Heavensward theme in. We get to see Fandaniel and Xenos. They've got the Stormblood theme in there. We go to now Thavnair and get to see Thancred and Urianger, and we hear a little bit of the 2.0 themes in that. So they're really playing the music up during all these things. We get to see old Charlayan. Mm-hmm. God, that Aetheryte is so beautiful. The The Nautilus, which was explained during all the stuff during the live or the fan festival, but the Nautilus, but it looks like a question mark. I think it looks so badass, almost like the DNA strand underneath it. It's so cool. But we really get to see what's going on, and I have been practicing this, Yelta. Fortunal Levayor. We get to see an Elizin that is Alphino and Alize's daddy, Fortunal. And Ishtola's there. We get to see some action. We also see some very strange stuff with. We see like a conclave, but they all have veils on. This has been picked out by people that there's a veil in front of the faces of these masks, if you will. Just prior to this, we get to see our old friend the Catboy in the library looking up some forbidden knowledge. So obviously. There's stuff happening.
I heard it's white mages should or healers should DPS is what I heard.
Is that what? Is that the rumor?
That's the meme. That's the meme. The book says healers should DPS.
I love it. Great community, by the way. We really get to see the gun scythe at this point. The Reaper job. We'll get to that, but the gun scythe is here. So we know that Scythe was the new weapon. Mm-hmm. The narrator says something about the Far Edge of Fate. And I was like, that's a patch. There was a patch we had that was called the Far Edge of Fate. The Far Edge of Fate is the 3.55 to 4.0 patch. And I don't know if that has something to do with going into Stormblood or if that's just the play on words or if that's nothing. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. But yeah. That's the trailer.
The visuals were all very nice looking, but nothing really was like stunning to me.
I do agree. There was something to the Shadowbringers trailer. I think it has to do with like there's a single target. Like it starts a story with you being kind of beaten down. A bunch of stuff happens that gives context to the story as a whole, and then the Warrior of Light / Darkness now fights that target and is victorious. It feels like a common theme. This is like I'm walking on the moon and then I see like this bug creature at the end and we kill it and it's like, So I can get, like maybe it's not as impactful.
I was excited to see that dragon. I'm like, because that's a question mark. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm so, this is an unpopular opinion, but I am so sick of Xenos. I'm like, so none of that does anything for me. I'm very curious, though, how they're going to wrap up this part of the story. I am excited to visit new zones and stuff, but overall, it was really pretty, but nothing about it really super wowed me.
Yeah. Well, cool. Let's dive into the stuff.
So Endwalker, as we know, is going to bring us full circle from A Realm Reborn. So the main scenario is concluding, our current main scenario is concluding in 6.0, right? They're putting the end on the whole Asians, Heidel, and Zodiac storyline, and then it's going to be a new story coming after that. I'm already seeing the posts. Is it too late to sub to this game? I heard it's ending.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So yeah, no, they were very clear that this is just the start of the new story. Yeah, we might lose some characters. Some characters might retire. Some characters might go home, but it's not over. So yeah, Yoshi P did mention it's not ending. It's continuing after that. We know we're getting a new player hub city called Old Charlayan. It's going to be similar to Ishgard and Kugane in the Crystarium. And it's, if you know the story, they're pretty isolationist. They're very scholarly. And then they talked about in 1.0 there had been plans to have 6 starting cities. Yeah. Alamigo, Ishgard, Charlayan. So Gridania, Ulda, and Limsa were chosen. So it's cool. All right, so SOKEN did the music, lyrics by Koji Fox and Ishikawa. They did the song for us. And the song was performed by the Primals with vocals by Sam Carter. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the artist either. People seemed excited, though. Good.
Yeah. Of course, I didn't know who sang, Shadowbringers, and I looked him up, and he dude plays D&D, man.
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, the trailer has Estinian in it with the Dragon Vitra, which I remember from Final Fantasy XI. Mm-hmm. So he's going to join us in the trust system. Well, you finished the current main scenario, right?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, Estinian's gonna join us.
Yeah, how we get from the transition for who his buddy is now to Vitra is a story. But my understanding is Vitra is also one of the first brood. So
right. I think that's the missing one. That's the only one that we haven't really had.
Yeah.
Of Midgårdshammer's kids, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. New job, yo. It's Reaper.
Yeah.
It's a melee DPS. People are like, of course it's Reaper. He had a Reaper on his shirt. And I'm like, yep.
Okay.
So they showed us the Reaper trailer. It's going to share the same role as Dragoon. You're just going to be one and start at level 70 in Ul'dah.
Mm-hmm.
So now that video was kind of cool. The way that Reapers fight.
Yeah.
It seems to be you do some stuff. I don't know if you charge up gauges or whatever, and then you must cast some, or not cast, but you know what I mean, proc something, because he's got like a friend.
Yeah, I think the
Void
ooh
Scent
moment.
friend?
Yeah, was to get the Void Scent, seeing the Void Scent hanging out. It reminds me of those dudes from Doom Train. You know, like the guys that always grab me and screw me. So it's I think it's neat. It's the Dark Knight that we kind of had in 11, but plus, and we talked about this earlier, that it's nice to see new content, brand new stuff for 14. And honestly, let's be real, what 6.0 is. There's a lot of different ways you'll see this. It's the capping of that 2.0 story. They talk about it. It's the finale, but they're showing it like almost every step of the way. There's some things in the poster that mimic the original poster. There's stuff that's capping that. And Yoshida said during the keynote that he's in this for the long haul. He is not leaving. He's not leaving this stuff. So Yoshi P is here to stay. This is his lifelong dream. His life's work.
He said it's his life's work, yeah.
So he's not going anywhere. I do believe that they're going to explore new territory for the future. And this is one of them, making new jobs with new names. I think that's a step in the right direction. Well,
6.0 is kind of, we're going to, like, the only other two places that have really, some of the other handful of places that were in 1.0, right? Mm-hmm. We've never been to Garmald. Fafnir we've known was a place. Charlene we knew was a place.
Yeah.
We're
done with 1.0. We are like with this, with 6.0, we are done with 1.0. Yeah.
He doesn't have to carry any of that baggage. None of them have to do. They don't have to carry any of that baggage. They don't have to explain anymore.
Right.
Tie up old storyline threads. It can just be new.
Right.
And I think they've already started, right? They've already, like Blue Mage. Blue Mage, they've talked, is coming from somewhere, overseas to the west or something. That's not from 1.0. That's new, I think. So that, they can start exploring and creating new stuff. Well, and they kind of did that with the first, right?
Sure.
We had, this one is just kind of we'll just, put the cherry on top, explain all the things as much as they need to, and then they can just be done with it. Now, that doesn't mean every thread is gone. Maybe we will eventually, deal with other shards. We may have to go to the 13th. It doesn't say they can't pull from them. They just don't feel like they have to be tied to it anymore, I think.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's a brand new job, unique to this game. Sounds amazing. And it's a melee DPS, so that's cool.
Yes.
And it looks pretty badass. Have a couple of neat pictures of it here.
Oh, and Yoshida looked badass on stage. I mean, lest we forget that he was completely in the Reaper garb.
Yeah, he was in Reaper garb with the giant scythe.
I can't believe he was carrying that shit the whole time, or most of the time. He said it was heavy, but man, he was...
I kept being like, dude, take off your hat, it's okay.
Yeah, it's fine.
You know what I mean? And like when he made it his entrance and everything, I think at that he could have like put the scythe down for a bit, and he could have, it would have been okay, but...
I agree.
But no, he looked amazing. All right.
Let's talk about Old Charlene.
Yeah. First of all, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Just the video itself. I mean, other than I'm not sure how that fountain works, Ruby.
Apparently, WoW players have big issues with how
Yeah.
the fountain works.
Yeah, I'm like, there's things called water crystals. Isn't that how they like do the baths? And you probably haven't done this quest yet. They've actually explained how they do the baths in Ishgard with water crystals. But anyway,
Hey.
It looks like a beautiful town. I love the ships. I love the design of the ships in the harbor.
It looks like Idleshire.
Well, that shouldn't be surprising. Yeah, I'm like,
Wonder
one of the
why.
buildings, I'm like, that looks like the library. Well, duh.
These assholes.
These assholes. Yeah. And isn't the statues is phallic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. The zone, the city itself, I'm just clicking through the video quick here.
Oh, yeah.
Looks cool. Looks really nice.
Yeah, all this stuff is simply gorgeous. So, yeah, I mean, if you've played any of 3.0, I mean, we're going to be feeling some great Google libraries. We're going to be feeling some of the Arboretum kind of feels and all things Idleshire here. Except with more douchebags.
With more elven douchebags, probably.
Less gobbies, more douchebags.
More. No, I think it looks amazing, and I can't wait to go there. And people are already fantasizing about how they just want to slap, Daddy.
Fortunal. That's where I'm practicing.
Fortunal?
Fortunal.
Fortunal.
Yeah, Daddy.
So he needs a slapping, right?
Yeah. Two daddies. Oh, it's another expansion with two daddies. Last expansion we had Daddy Thancred and Daddy Urianger, but now we're going to have Daddy Xenos and Daddy Fortunald, who are both overbearing daddies.
Oh,
they're the spanking kind of daddy.
Oh my God, spank me, Daddy. No, just stop.
I've already said the whole point of this expansion was you're gonna have to bang Xenos on the moon, on the surface of the moon. You're gonna have to make love to Xenos and kill him simultaneously, and that's gonna be the emotional pull right there at the end. As you make love, you have to stab him
right through the heart.
Right through the heart on the surface of the moon.
On the surface
Endwalker.
Oh my God.
Okay, Labyrinthos.
Labyrinthos is a new area with ancient buildings that house a strange technology.
Okay.
Yeah, that looked amazing. It's like some sort of underground dome with a false sun. The crystal looks just like Idleshire's. That is Idleshire's crystal. So that looks like a very cool area.
Yeah, I mean, is this like some Wakandan technology, or they got they're hidden from the rest of the world or something? This is pretty neat.
The music's a little funky, but it's okay.
Yeah.
It's strange technology is all we really know about it. And they grow pumpkins there or something. They show off the new mount, by the way. Isn't that the Collector's Edition mount, do we think?
That is the Collector's Edition mount.
Yeah.
You notice it's got 6 legs.
It does. The only other one that has 6 legs is Sleipnir. Oh, no. Sleipnir's supposed to have 8, though, isn't he? But anyway.
I thought at one point they put 4 and it was supposed to have 6. I think Sleipnir's supposed to have 6, but at somewhere Sleipnir got screwed and only got 4 legs. But it may not have been this game. It might have been a different game. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember. No, Odin's horse Sleipnir had 8 legs.
Oh, 8 legs? Okay.
It only has 6.
Oh, okay. I
was going to say, I know my North mythology.
Oh, well, you are up there in North America.
Up here, we got me some Norse people around here. Yeah. Thavnir. Actually, I might be more excited to go to Thavnir, and I don't know why. I think I like how it looks. So Thavnir is the origin of the dancer job, and there's statues that depict dancers throughout Razatan. You know, where you used to get the oil from for your relic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I will be very confused if there's not a shop in Thavnir that just sells every upgrade item known to man. You should be able to just go to the counter and buy all those oils and all those strings and all the stuff that everybody's like, it comes all the way from Thavnir. Yeah.
Oh, Thavnir has one of those evil towers. Oh. I guess I was probably drunk by the time we got to this point. Yeah, I like the colors of Thavnir. I like the showed all the dancer statues. Okay, so I was watching this earlier, and, well, live. There's one point where they spin around and show a statue.
Mm-hmm.
That's the same statue that got completely fucking wrecked in the trailer. Pretty sure.
Interesting. Yeah.
But the town Razatan, I can't talk words. That one's beautiful too. It's super fucking colorful. It's so pretty. And it makes me think of when you do treasure maps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'm not sure that fountain works either.
That's that Uznair stuff, right? Same vibe. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, obviously this takes a lot from Indian culture and architecture and stuff. So very, very cool. Again, there better be a shop that sells everything. That upgrades.
Every upgrade item known to man. Mm-hmm. You know Rowena's going to be there.
Oh, she can't wait to get her paws in it.
Will she be at the other town? Yeah. She's probably already there. Where do you think they got the oil from? Mm-hmm. They also showed us a new floating island area, which looked super familiar to me, but they didn't tell us the name. That I'm like, I know that floating, and people in chat were yelling out what they thought it was, but the name escapes me right now.
What,
you know
the floating kingdom of Zeal?
That's probably it.
Where dreams come true, but at what price? Maybe I'm a bowling ball dreaming of a plate of sashimi. Yeah, I've seen that speculation around quite a bit, and I think that ties into this next area we're going because I think time is going to have a lot to do with what we're going to experience here. There's going to be multiple themes, obviously, in Endwalker, and I think something with time. Or seeing the dead, or bringing the dead back, or going back to another time. Something is in here. So, anyway.
Well, we also saw Garlemald, which looked pretty much bombed out. It was ruined. And then an area on the moon was shown. Lamentorium? Mm-hmm. Lamentorium. How do you get to the moon is still a mystery, but it appears to have breathable air. And that, a cool zone... Not super eye-catching, but very cool looking.
Mm-hmm. And they said this was not the only area on the moon. This was just the named area that they had, or this place. This is the name.
This is one area.
So I mean, that translates to something like Sea of Sadness or Sea of Lament or something like that. So why is this place a place of lament?
All right. No, it looks amazing. I love that you can see like that artwork there, with the crystal, the aetherite, and you can see Heidelin, the planet. I mean, it looks amazing. I can't wait to go there. Oh, and then the next shot is of course the floating islands that are also freaking amazing. And there's probably again will be one zone that we won't even know is coming, right?
Sure.
Right, we had Azazla did that to us, the Tempest. I'm just totally expecting another, just kind of pulled out of nowhere zone. All right, new encounters. We're getting the Mega Sisters.
Hey-yo.
I've wanted them in forever. They look colorful. I think they're over in Thavnir.
Yeah.
Right? Don't they look Thavnir colors
I can see that, yeah.
And then Loporits, which look like those other kind of Mughals, from those other games. Yeah,
for sure. I just can't not call them Lunarians. I just have a hard time doing that or naming ways, because, it's kind of like that. I'm sure I will get to calling them the proper name before terribly long, but...
they're adorable. I wish they were a playable race. Honestly, because I like small, cute races.
Yelta, come on. Male Vieira, male bunnies. You don't think they would ever do that, do you?
Oh. Small indie company, they can't do stuff like that.
Or maybe they can.
They gave us a dungeon crawl video. That one was pretty awesome too. We have like weird umbilicals going from tower to tower, and then there's like a train, and just I don't know. It looks pretty cool.
Oh, and this is this music, the Final Fantasy IV music that they're playing.
Oh, is that what it is?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah,
They're laying it on thick.
The last time I heard it was at Distant Worlds concert, I think. That's right. So the Endwalker expansion dungeons are going to be varied, and they're going to be compatible with the trust system, which is their new pattern, right? Mm-hmm. That I've started just doing my dungeons the first time with the trusts, just because there's lore involved, even though I'd rather play with real people. But
I believe that's what they want. They really want an all-inclusive story. If you're going to do the story, they want you on rails, man. Yep. But at least you'll have Estinian.
Go ahead.
You'll have Estinian, at least.
I know. I like Estinian, so that's cool. Somebody said something about the dungeons lately or whatever. And you know how I always joke that they're kind of soulless loot tunnels now and whatever, but they're fine for what they are. But like lately, some of the dungeons have been more like a Disney ride. And it feels like on rails because like the NPCs are moving forward, even when you're with a party, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Disney ride. You're going from like scene to scene.
Yeah.
And I actually don't mind that, because the dungeons aren't the dungeons I think of from older MMOs. They are more just straightforward, and I like that they're
interactive stories. That's really
they're kind of interactive stories, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I wish we had something more like... I wish we had some more dungeony stuff. I'm sad we don't have.
Maybe that's where they're going with, where they're doing like the bigger open world dungeon. Like, we'll give you this as your dungeon experience. Now the rest are just interactive stories. I
wish we had more deep dungeon though.
Yeah,
deep dungeon was kind of cool too. But anyway, there's neither here nor there. We are getting a new alliance raid. This one made me excited too. This is another original.
Love it.
Both the raids are original. This one is Myths of the Realm, and it features the 12, a pantheon of gods worshipped by Eorzeans. So we all know these symbols, right? Mm-hmm. We know. I'm very excited. This is probably going to tell that story then. They've never told us the story. Are the 12 real? Are the 12 Ascians? Are the 12 just made up? Are they the original settlers of... You know what? We don't know for sure.
Right.
We can theorize.
Right.
And it probably is, related to something they've already told us, but
probably. I read a post recently, maybe just yesterday, and it was from an old live letter or Q&A, and they asked somebody, maybe it was Koji, maybe it was Yoshida, but they asked the question about who are the 12 exactly, and they said, it's hazy, it's fuzzy, it's, maybe they're this, maybe they're that, maybe they were somebody who saved a little girl at one time and they evolved into something, maybe they were actually gods, maybe they did something. So they never
heroes
really
of light through the years. We don't
exactly.
know
We don't know really what those stories represent, and they have left them hazy. But one thing we do know is they're not the conclaves. They're not like they're not the 13 Ascians that summon Zodiark. They're not probably Venat's Ascians that summon, we don't know that, but there are some things that we have kind of worked out that they're not. So what are they? This is an interesting one. And again, it's another original 14 content like Reaper. I think this is also a dual closing the door on the 1.0, the stuff we've always asked about. I have a theory around that too that kind of ties into your stuff about dungeons, where we've seen the reduced number of dungeons over time and we've seen the streamlining of some content. And I do worry that if we cap the whole story, the whole shebang with 6.0, and 6.1 starts a new story, does that allow room for the devs to be lazy and do a full story at every expansion, like 6.0 be a story, 7.0 be a story, 8.0 be a story, but that the 0.1s, 2s, 3s, 4, and 5 are really just filler content, that they're really not tied in with that main expansion story like they are now, and that they're just going to be hodgepodge stories that some B-team writing team puts together, and that the good stories will only from this point out be the 7.0 story, the 8.0 story, the 9.0 story, and the rest of the stuff in the middle. It was just a fleeting thought I had, but I worry sometimes. And
I could see that. With
the streamlining.
And you'd have they always do. They have 2 raid stories to tell over a patch cycle. They have an MSQ story to tell. And a lot of times lately, they've had an EX Trials or a Trials story to tell. Mm-hmm. They've had a Relic story to tell. But they've been though really good about the story. I think they know people play this for the story.
Sure.
And we're not going to sit still for B-roll story.
There you go.
And they, honestly, with Shadowbringers, if people... The game is super popular right now, and it's not because of Ultimate.
Mm-mm.
You know what I mean?
And that's a sad thing to tell Ultimate players right now because they're feeling it.
Nothing. Yeah. Well, Ultimate got delayed, and that's bullshit.
And they're feeling it.
I mean, it sucks, but the cold hard truth is that's not where the subscribers come from. I'm not saying they shouldn't put money into it. Absolutely, they should. I enjoy hearing about the trials and tribulations of people struggling with Ultimate. You know, I've done some even like Savage. People even question why there's even Savage mode or why there's even EX trials because they don't do them. Well,
okay.
Even if it's not
all content is for you.
Not all content's for you, and that's okay. Not all content's for me, and that's okay. We're gonna get into that later. But something like a 24-man, I really think like the normal mode raids, the 8-man raids, and the normal 24-man raid, the 24-man raids, and the storyline, and the dungeons. Most people can do them, right? Most people can make it through, But then you have like EXs and Savages, and this is a rant for another time. But I'm very excited though and I don't think they're gonna drop the ball. They've been very good about putting an interesting story. I should hope so. Content.
Playing devil's advocate.
How they
could
right.
Do
it's right. So the game is super popular right now. And they could just switch to, bare minimum mode just to keep people subbed.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It's probably way too early for that. Yoshida seems very renewed with everything going on, so.
I don't know. Square Enix hasn't let Final Fantasy XI die yet. I mean.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think this stuff's going anywhere. But I am very excited for Final Fantasy XIV original content. That said, I do love the echoes and was a lot of 4 stuff is in this.
This will be very 4 heavy.
And I liked 4. It's been a longest. I should try to play that again before the release.
Oh yeah, well, I got the Super Nintendo plugged in, so I should.
Oh, I probably do too. I have it in a box somewhere. I have to plug it in. All right. Anyway, let's move on. Let's talk Collector's Edition. Of course,
it's sold out. But
no, I bought one. I have one.
That's good. I didn't try. This wasn't.
I have one, and now I'm like, I always buy them, and I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
So there's a fairly cool Paladin figurine.
I do like the figurine this time. I think it's a smaller size, but I kind of preferred that. We have a couple of the other box sets, and they're large. They're good for what they are, but I kind of thought this one was kind of cute, in my opinion.
Yeah, I didn't actually get a feel for how big it is. I'll have to look. It's the Paladin doing his wing. What's that called? Passage of Arms? Mm-hmm. I don't play Paladin. I just know that when Beldandy puts the wings up, I stand behind him.
That's right. That is the right answer.
That is the correct answer, is hide behind the Paladin. Oh, there's a Lord of plush. There's artwork from 1.0 to 6.0.
Oh, yeah.
Framed.
The plush is cute.
It's gorgeous.
The artwork is amazing looking.
And then Collector's Edition in-game items is going to be the new mount, a wind-up Porum, and a Death Scythe weapon. Mm-hmm. So if you've pre-ordered, though, you already have your Palom minion and your earring.
The earring, good.
All right. Well, it's good. Well, it'll be good for the 2 new jobs. I have everything at 80 already, so. So Endwalker, though, there's not going to be a disc anymore. I'm not super surprised.
Me either.
So the team says 85% of the players buy the digital version anyway, and it's an MMORPG with updates. Honestly, to play the game, you have to have an internet connection, and even my terrible one, I've usually been able to download patches before it's live, so. Alright, PlayStation and Steam will have to purchase their collector's boxes to get the physical items, and then to digital items purchased on the platform of their choice. There's some discussion about what? They can't include physical items with code purchases on those platforms. The Digital Collectors Edition will simply contain digital goods.
Which is what I'm going with. Yeah.
Pre-orders will have the Wind-Up Paladin Minion and the Minfina earring. And the earring is going to be your new XP Boost earring update. All right, early access is going to be available on November 19th, and the official release is the 23rd. Oh. I already took the week off.
I mean, yeah, I should hope that you could get vacation, more than 6 months from now or whatever. So let's see here. 26, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, yeah, that's 6 months from next week. Ooh, what a drag.
It's a bit out, and then there's some discussion that people have complained, that's Thanksgiving week.
Oh.
Right? I don't care.
Gobble.
I'm probably staying home.
Oh, yeah.
But,
I'll be eating turkey right here in front of the computer. Absolutely.
I'll be having my plate of turkey at my desk.
It may be hard to get vacation if, somebody with seniority or whatever gets in front of me. Yeah. Well, all of this stuff looks cool.
Well, a week earlier or a week later might have been cool, but I think most people can probably make it. There was some discussion how November 19th or 23rd is no longer fall.
That's right. Yes, I did.
It's not fall because sometimes it snows by then. I haven't gone to the official forums in like a year. And then I went to the official forums. Well, not by myself. I've gone when like you've posted something and I'm like, I'll go check it out. I went to the official forums and someone's like, don't mislead us. November isn't fall. I'm like, I don't know what planet you live on, but fall in the Northern Hemisphere lasts till mid-December. Mid to late December.
Yeah, I mean, it is fall. It is late fall. It's not the latest it could be in fall. Nobody thinks of fall as 3 days before Christmas, even though we all know that
technically,
the equinox, is 3 days.
No, this person on the official forum claimed that everyone was assuming it would be September or October, because those are apparently the only months that are actually fall. There's a giant discussion about what countries consider what fall, and I'm like, oh my god, they gave us the date. Yes, it's further out than most of us.
There's still pumpkins in November.
I know. And it is, of course, it's disappointing.
Yeah,
our releases have been earlier. Not gonna lie, but I don't feel like I was misled.
Oh, not at all. It is definitely a vast wasteland. And if you are an Ultimate player, you're done with this game. I have seen so many Ultimate players say, I'm done. This is, see you never again or whatever. Sucks. It's terrible because not even upon 6.0 will you have Ultimate. You have to wait till 6.1 to get an Ultimate that is designed from previous content. Didn't they say it was going to be Thornton? Didn't they announce
Knights
what
of the Round?
Knights of the Round?
I think so.
So, you already know what it is. I don't know if that burns you out already in advance, but you're looking at 9 months at least before there's ultimate content. That's the longest time to have
to wait for the content that interests you.
I mean, you could have a child in the amount of time. I'm not suggesting that.
If you do it, you'll be able to play because you're going to have a baby.
If the sound of my voice is making you aroused and you take advantage of that right now, you can have a child before the next ultimate content releases. And everybody went limp. All right.
Just the blood flow stopped completely. All right, we have also male Viera and female Rockguard.
What?
They showed this video, and I've talked to many people who play Viera now. So when this video started, people are like, they're like, the Viera's like putting on the boots and putting whatever. And everybody I talked to expected them to zoom into the head with some new hairstyle and a hat or something, right? But it's males. And they look about how I thought they were going to make them look, honestly.
Absolutely.
They did nice.
I think it's a nice looking race. I think it's really like, I'm not a bunny boy, but I think they look good. Like, I wouldn't be upset to play to play this race. I think there's going to be a lot of swaps from cat boys to bunny boys. We'll see.
Yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen. Now, to be honest, this does nothing for me. I'm not going to ever be a male Viera. I'm never going to be a Viera at all. I know we have a lot of Viera lovers in our free company. We've got lots of Viera. But they don't do anything for me. Mm-hmm. This is kind of where I was going to come back to. It's okay they make stuff that's not for me.
Oh, yeah, right? Absolutely.
This is kind of like,
makes other people happy, builds the player base, more people buy the crap, better servers, etc., etc. I'm all for diverse play styles. So this is
and it
great.
was a mistake to begin with to do a race and not both sexes. That was just. I understand why they made the decision, right? Mm-hmm. But it was not an amazing decision,
right?
And fix their hats, please. Well, and I actually personally would be more interested in running a Rothgar female.
Yeah.
Depending on what they look like. So, but no, I think it's good. I think they, and I called it back when they said we're not doing any more races. Here's what we got. And I'm like, they're going to just do the other two sexes. They'll do the other
one. And even though they say they're not, they're going to do it. One, I think they had I hate to say they had the time, but like maybe it was easier to do this than something else with the work at home and all that stuff. Although I think they're way past that now. But, if they had only done a male and female, we may not see another race. But because they did one of each gender for each race, I think that did allow for us to get 2 new races out of it. Yeah, it's slow. It may be the end of Endwalker before we see the female Rothgar, but by that time,
I'll probably get hate for this. Well, I'll probably get hate for this, but I feel by doing 2 races, even if they were gender locked, I don't agree with them being gender locked. But you actually I felt like it was a little bit more diverse. My dungeon runs were a little more diverse by having those 2 separate races.
Yeah.
But no, they should do them all. And in fact, in 2 years, they'll probably do another race.
They probably will. I would not mind an asexual race or something with like some agender, nothing. Something? Yeah, so you could do slider, you could do whatever, but like for story purposes, there's no specified gender for it.
Just
and then that way, I guess that's what you kind of would have done originally with in 11 with the what's the race called? I had it on the tip of my tongue. It's the analog to well, gosh, I can't think of any of the races right now. I've gone completely.
Rogadin?
Yeah, it's an analog to the Rogadin. The one from 11. They could reproduce asexually, I believe was the case. So I mean, like, as far as reproduction in a Final Fantasy game, they got all their bases covered. It's not a worry. I think you could have
Galka. You're thinking of Galka.
Yeah.
Galka, yeah, I'm like the Rogadin already exists. No, Galka were male only, and Mithra were female only.
Right. I think you could make not Galka, because Galka looked male, or at least it had a larger frame or whatever they wanted to go with on that. I think you could have a race that doesn't have to necessarily have a gender if you were just going to do something. Like a lizard race doesn't necessarily have to have a gender, so to speak.
Well, like Pantheon, that game that I've been following, they have a gnome race that's just kind of a glowing ball of light with armor.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I guess.
I don't even know if there is a gender. I don't know.
Yeah. But,
that would be fine. I don't see why not.
I'm just saying, if they're going to add new stuff, they don't have to worry about everything. This is another opportunity for them to do whatever the fuck they want, because maybe post 6.0, they're just like, we have the player base. We have the story. We have a lot of stuff. Let's just throw spaghetti at the wall and just see what sticks.
Well, and I have read and kind of agree with a lot of the calls for, okay, if we're not getting any more races, if you have time and resources, could we get an expansion perhaps on some of the characteristics of the existing races? Mm-hmm. Right? Not just hair. How many? There's not that many faces. I know. Butt sliders. Highlanders want eyebrows. I'm just going to say it. Highlanders want an eyebrow option.
Why aren't all the tattoo options on faces across all races, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Tattoo options, maybe some more makeup options. Because I can pick blush or eyeshadow. Mm-hmm. Right? Why can't I pick both? That kind of thing.
Right.
You know, there's some custom things that different NPCs have. Like, some of them have, like, I'm a Lalafell, so I have the little crystal on my forehead. Mm-hmm. I picked that. But there's a row that has something on his forehead, too. It's not a headpiece, it's part of his physical makeup. You know, there are other, expanding that, or maybe, you know, diversifying a little bit more, even if they don't ever give us another race.
Right.
Diversifying what we currently have would be amazing. No, I've watched some of the reaction videos. I'm super happy for people who are just squeeing like crazy about this. You know, I am. And like, we've got people in the free company who, I don't know if I've ever heard anybody say they're going to switch their main to it, but I know at least one person's going to switch their alt to it, and another a couple who plan to switch their retainers, right? So the character designs aren't just your main. I spend time making my retainers the way I want them to look, too. All right. We are also getting a new... I'm drinking. Mm-hmm. We're also getting a new data center, Oceania. So, the Oceania region. What is that considered? I know it's...
Australia, New Zealand.
Australia.
I don't... Okay. I'm not quite sure what is...
Micronesia, Polynesia. Yeah, okay. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Right? So, because... I know there are people in Australia who play, and their ping is shit.
Yeah, I heard this was getting clowned because he moved to Europe, and then like now they're introducing an Oceania data center.
So expanding is always good. That's the other one. People are like, "Is it too late to start this game?" And they're like, "Dude, Final Fantasy XI's gonna hit 25 years or some shit here. I can't remember now."
Yeah,
and they're like. And they're adding data centers. You don't add data centers when you think your game is wrapping up.
That's right. Yeah, this ain't wrapping up.
And then we come to the Endwalker artwork, which is amazing.
It is amazing. I love this artwork.
What did Kryl do to not be in the artwork, by the way?
She probably died in 6.0. That's that might be something. No, I don't know. Kryl gets the short end of the stick. I mean, her name is terrible, I think, even though it's from Final Fantasy V, but I think it's a terrible name. And she's, honestly, people love Totaro way more than Kryl. So, yeah, I don't...
Kryl needs a new costume.
She needs a new outfit. It's terrible.
Her outfit was adorable when we first met her, but now it's like you're like some sort of mascot or something.
Oh yeah, the yellow's just terrible or whatever. Yeah. Now this poster, this is the one I was talking about. That is it's kind of an analog to a Final Fantasy Final Fantasy 14 2.0 poster that's pink. Mm-hmm. I have this wall scroll, and it's basically got the same cast of characters, but it's got Minfilia on it instead of who's being shown here. Of course, not Xenos and some of the other characters here, but it's the same. It's almost the crystal shape you see here. And there's some important analogs in this as well. And you had a comment, Yelta, it sounded like.
Well, I have two comments. Yeah. One, people are like, Xenos is going to become a Scion. And I'm like, no. If you remember, Emmett Selk was on the other poster. It doesn't mean they're joining the Scions. And then up top, there are a lot of theories about who she is. She is holding a mask. I think she is the Heart of Hydaelyn, whatever her name was.
Vanat.
Yeah, Vanat. I think she's going to get a physical form at least for the release. That's but I don't like to speculate.
Sure.
All the speculation, that's the one I like the best. She has the hand over her heart kind of pose that both Minfilia did, and you've read all those posts too. And the Ascian in the Tempest also does that a lot.
Right.
I think that's actually, I think she's an Ascian, but I think she's the one who's like not evil.
Yeah.
And not really an Ascian. I think she's going to become a human.
Yeah, I'm with you on most of that. Of course, I mean, I don't know what the hell's going to happen in the story. But my understanding is this will be Venat. She is an Asian. I mean, obviously like the heart of Heidelin, the opposite of Zodiark there. She's holding a mask in this picture, but the hand is over the heart. And so this, I kind of am leaning like, is it her that's been putting shards of her soul in the Minphilias, in the Reens, because I mean, this is the blonde. It's just the Minphilia look. There's something to that has Heidelin through Venat over time been seeding for champions in that method, where Zodiark has been doing something different on the opposite side.
Could be the same soul, I mean.
And does that mean that Venat is good? I mean, through one perspective, sure, but there was quite a few people I saw siding with Emmett Silk after he kind of gave his tale. So, like, what's really going on here? And is Heidelin capable of holding back the problem? I'm starting to think.
I think she gets out. I think they're going to resolve it, and that's what's left of Heidelin, and she gets to be a person.
Something, but I mean, I think it ends both of their tales, Zodiark and Heidelin, in the sense like
as far as elder primals.
If something was summoned to stop this problem with the Earth, I'm calling it the Earth, but that something is wrong with the world. And they summon Zodiark to stop it, but then they have to summon Heidelin to stop Zodiark. And we've stopped all the minions of Zodiark. Well, Heidelin doesn't really have a purpose, because Heidelin really was just only there to stop Zodiark, and Heidelin can't stop that thing that Zodiark stopped, because that was what Zodiark had stopped. So I think we're dealing with the after effects of getting rid of Zodiark, and whatever is going to happen with Heidelin. Although we haven't really gotten rid of Zodiark, so I don't really quite know all of that either.
Zodiark's not gone.
So, I don't know.
And Fandaniel's kind of trying to recreate that first calamity, basically. And the calamity's the wrong word, but, the end of times or whatever.
The proto-calamity, if you will, whatever. But,
well, and those bosses are from that are what shows up in the dungeon crawl video or the trailer.
True.
No, I'm very interested. I like that we have a mystery, and I like that people can guess, and whatever it is, I bet I'm going to be happy. It is a beautiful piece of artwork, though. It's
gorgeous. All
right, that was kind of the
keynote and all of that.
Keynote, yeah. Whew. It was good. It was fun to watch. I was I'm still very, very interested in seeing what happens next. I'm very happy that they get to start telling a new story soon.
Same.
I don't think they're going to just fucking kill everyone. People are like, they're going to kill off Thancred and all those people.
They got too many mascots now. And in fact, we've talked about this. I've talked to several people about my twins theory about them turning to stone. And I have kid or thought, they're going to kill them off.
Temporary, right? How many times have they temporarily killed someone?
But they're going to temporarily kill them. And by kill, I mean turn them to stone. And it's going to be a plot device. And, something's going to happen. And then we'll go back. They weren't permanently dead in Final Fantasy IV. So, they're going to do something with that, but it'll be a plot device. I'm just kind of hoping
it'll be some way to get their daddy to come help.
That's what I'm saying. They're gonna charge daddy. I had this tweet today. I said, Alizé's probably gonna go in there swinging against daddy, but like Alphinaud's gonna have that speech at the end of 6.0 that is like, you and your ilk, da-da-da-da-da-da, or something, and just like dissect dad with, like Alphinaud has grown. He's not the brat that left old Charlet.
Well, they went off and had their own adventures and learned their own things and have wandered around.
And failed. Crystal Braves.
With a God, I think I still own that
domain.
Domain. No, I mean, they've done their own shit. They've moved on and whatever, and they've just like murdered gods, or with a murder hobo, warrior of light and darkness. I mean, we'll see what happens. I'm very interested to see how all that goes. I also want to know who's going to let us stay at their house when we're in Old Charlian. right? I keep thinking of Heavensward, where like you had someone there,
right.
but you would never have been able to walk through the gates if you didn't have friends.
Cryle.
Oh,
Cryle went ahead of us, right?
Kryle's not even on the poster, man. I'm not sure.
They probably... So she gets to Old Charlayan and they skin her alive. They just kill her upon re-entry into Charlayan.
Her house is tiny. But no, it would be cool. That's one of the things that's different about me for the trailer, right? So the Shadowbringers trailer, the Warrior of Light is hurt and confused and wandering around lost. And I can jive with that.
Yeah.
That gives me somewhere to go. But I feel like in the Endwalker trailer, the Warrior of Light's just like, I'm fucking amazing.
3.0, 4.0. 3.0, 4.0. 3.0, you got your ass handed to you. You're walking through the snow with Alphino. You're dying. Blah, blah, blah. Dragons. And all that. And it's like, let's go. Let's try to fight. Let's fight through this. 4.0, it's, we're a samurai now. We just kill Garleans in the street and da-da-da. So it's kind of, to me, it is that similar feel where it's when you have a feeling of desperation coming into a story, there's that pull of like, I want to become victorious. If you walk into a story and you're already kind of big and bad, it doesn't really give you the same feeling.
And that's probably what it is for me, is the idea that I was stripped of all my friends and gear and whatever makes me have to strive for whatever.
Smacking that wall underneath old Da, you're like, oh, my friends have all been taken.
All right, we have the live letter. Now, live letter, which I have to remind people all the time. During these things, the keynote is about the expansion. Yeah. The live letter is about the next patch.
And the live letter sucks typically. I hate to really say that. In comparison of the hype of a keynote, and you go to the next day's live. This happens every fan fest for me too. The hype of the keynote versus what the live letter is. You almost are kind of like, well, I'm ready to move past the patch. Like, it's nice to see the updates.
I'm like,
but
why do I care about God Save the Queen? I'm about to go to the moon.
As we've gone expansion to expansion, there is, maybe less and less that there is. This ain't a big live letter, okay?
Well, I feel this is much like how I feel some patch content is twisted around. You have agreed previously. I feel like they should give us... I know the keynote should be amazing. I feel like the keynote should just tease you, get the blood pumping.
Right.
And then I think they should give us the patch. I think they should do the live letter then. And that's going to make us excited for what's coming next. But then when they give the expansion info, it would be like, oh my god!
Yeah.
So when you watch the keynote and then go back to this, you're like, who cares?
And it may also be because normally we would normally have FanFest, maybe not before the 0.55, but before the 0.5. So there would be more information we would have in a live letter because it would have been both parts. But because we've had two separate live letters about the different parts and all that other stuff, there's just not a whole lot of information here. I felt like I blinked and then they got to the Q&A with Ishikawa.
Yeah, 5.5 is basically Save the Queen update. It's going to be the new zone. It's going to be the final chapter of Save the Queen. It's going to get, new skirmishes, whatever. I'm interested in this content. And in fact, this patch cycle, since there's such a long stretch before 6.0, I might be more interested in doing this Bozja stuff, right?
Yeah.
But it's really hard because, I'm already like, why log in Cap Tomes? Because as soon as 6.0 comes out, I'll just get whatever gear.
Yeah, like, at 85, we're going to break whatever weapon we got over our leg and then just pick up whatever the dungeon one is, and it'll be better than anything we've already got, so to speak. There'll be some variances in that, but some of the gear options would be different. It would be nice if the relic carried over, like, all the way through, and if that was a change that they would make, like
or if it got you to
relic,
like
you start a new quest or something within 6.0, but it makes it the top tier stuff, because they did say that the weapon coming out of this, if you go all the way, will be better than I mean, I don't know that they said it would be the best weapon, but it was going to be better than what was coming out of the Savage fights, I think they said.
Well, yeah, and I think for just one slot, I feel like if they made it the best weapon you could probably have till almost the next level cap would be really more reason for me to grind them all out.
Yeah.
But anyway.
I mean, is it really about the weapon or about doing the dance in these content? Maybe they'll figure it out. Like, is it really that much of a big deal about getting the weapon that is at the same level as some Savage content of the thing? Is it really? Because if they're shitting on Ultimate players at this stage, they might as well shit on Savage players by keeping the Relic at the highest level, because I personally agree that Relic should be something that you build upon, like we did in 11, like we've done in Relics and other games or what have you.
If it's just slow and steady.
A slow and steady grind, but if you put the work in or whatever.
You for a while.
You should have that top tier weapon. And what does that matter in this game that much about other than the DPS checks? Because most of the stuff is a jump rope anyway. It don't matter what your DPS checks in. If you step in the orange too many times,
they could at least make them look amazing.
Yeah,
that's the other part for me.
Where's my dyeable glow?
How many times have I linked weapons to people and they're like, never mind. Mm-hmm. But I will play it for the story, especially. Sure. Because Eureka had some good story. I never did Baldiston's Arsenal.
Yeah.
But I want to.
Yeah, well, will that fuck us?
And I was interested in the story.
Will that fuck us when we go to Old Charlayan and we don't get an extra cutscene with Corral who's talking about the Isle of Val or some other crap? Like, I don't want that to happen.
Hopefully not BA. Because you could pretty fucking casually do everything up to BA. Yeah. I should probably pencil in trying to find a group for BA this summer. But that said, I am interested though in the story, right? That zone has interesting lore, you know, and I do like, I do, and I'm actually, you know, a bit intrigued. So Eureka had, I don't remember what they were called, where you could pick abilities or whatever. It's better in Bosjo.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's really cool and fun. I actually like a lot of things, and I'm very interested in the new Delardia or whatever, the 48 player stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm very interested, and I'm gonna do all this stuff. But I can very much see where people are like, I don't care.
Oh, sure.
But I'm looking forward to gear. I'm looking forward to, well, and as the Free Company was chatting with us on when this was running live, a lot of us are interested in, you know, we maybe only got one or two weapons. We're hoping for easements, right? We're hoping to make weapons or achievements and titles or whatever be easier now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But honestly, I'm not going to be fussed about doing it unless it's fucking fun. That's my other caveat. If it's fun, I'll do it forever.
Oh, for sure.
But if it's not amazingly fun, if it holds my attention for one or two weapons, great. But
that's not 6 months worth of content.
It's not 6 months worth of content. But again, find yourself a Free Company. By the way, I don't think I mentioned, what did I say? Our Free Company was like rank 8 on the entire server.
Wow.
We played so much in the last week. But yeah, unless you have a good Free Company that will just join you for whatever shenanigans, I don't have much interest doing most of the stuff solo. But anyway, no, I'm not hating on it at all.
Yeah.
I am intrigued, excited, and want to do it. But I don't see it being content that will hold me till November.
Yeah, and that's what I think a lot of Ultimate players have just packed it up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, for sure. All right, they did nerf desynthesizing gear obtained from... No, this wasn't a nerf. No, this wasn't a
No.
This was an in my opinion, it was a goddamn oversight.
I have fallen
So-
into this trap, Yelta, once or
Me
twice.
too.
Mhm.
No, I descent them. I farmed
Zervan
Byaco
weapons.
or some shit.
I fell into it.
Maybe I don't remember what it was. Yeah, it was Byaco. I farmed Byaco thinking I could desynth the weapons and get the item, and nope. So Yoshi P made it very clear that they didn't make a rule, right? So some trials gave you the gear that yielded materials, and other trials didn't give you the materials upon desynthing.
Mm-hmm.
I desynth a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Because there might be that RNG is good sometimes.
Yep.
You get the item that sells for a lot and you feel amazing, or you get the item that you can craft into a weapon that looks amazing, because glamour is truly the end game.
Yep.
They fucked up. That's my opinion. They fucked up.
It is a fuck up. It really is. Y'all owe me some Zervan shells or whatever, Yoshida.
Mm-hmm. So they mistakenly didn't make all of the trial weapons desynth into the item that would properly let you get the glamour
And
weapon.
it wouldn't
basically.
even. It was like not even in the item table. It wasn't like it was randomly
No,
skipping
it. Was there.
it.
It was not like low. It was just not there. Nope.
Yeah, that's a.
So yeah, they said
That's a wild oversight. I guess maybe they had determined like what craft, maybe they were thinking of like recipes and crafting items or something patch by patch, and didn't have an overarching theme for types of trials or types of content and what they release. And so maybe to release certain things at one time, I don't know, but it's a terrible oversight.
it was an oversight. I feel like so Square Enix or this team has super been good about their schedule, their pattern, whatever. So I expected when I went into X trial and I got 7 weapons, I should be able to desynth them and get the special item.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't. Oof. Anyway, I keep wondering how much gil I have lost, 'cause I desynth a ton of shit and didn't get nothing. Oh, okay. They gave us the upcoming schedule. Which was good. We got. This isn't a roadmap. Someone said they're gonna give you a roadmap. This is kind of some.
Yelta, I want to stop you right there, because the roadmap, this is so funny, but I've been working on something at my job about putting like a business plan together, and it was suggested that we do a roadmap, and I was like, let me pull up a 14 roadmap to kind of like make an analog of like the, draw out the same thing so I could show my business partner and give
Some
him
sort of
an example.
pattern which would show.
Of course, the one I pulled up was from 2011 to 2013. But it's a good roadmap. It was a good roadmap. Yoshida got all that shit done, so good job, Yoshida.
All right, so the first thing on the roadmap is patch 5.55. It is Tuesday, May 25th, which I had the day off.
Yeah.
July is the Make It Rain campaign. That historically has been in May, but we forgive them. Then, let's see, June and July, or July, August, patch 5.57 and 5.58, which they've made clear is basically just taking the requirements off of stuff, I think.
Probably,
right?
sure. Yeah.
Right, just like you can just run all whatever.
You can have as many
whatever.
tomes as you want, up to 2,000,
Yeah.
instead of this, that. Yeah.
Yeah. So they've done that before, I think, where they're like, just YOLO, whatever, just play the game a lot and profit.
Right.
In August, we have the Moonfire Fair and the Rising.
Yep.
September, we're getting the Final Fantasy XV collaboration event again, which after some thought and I'm okay with. I used to be like, if you miss these crossover events, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to be mean. I don't mean to be mean, but at this point, the game's been around for how many years now, right?
Yeah.
And it's only gone from small to growing in strength.
Sure.
And I didn't like 15, but this car is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My comment to that is it's a 4-person mount. That's pretty easy to get. You do have to play a little bit of the game, I remember, I think, for the 15 collaboration.
It's not that much.
It's not much, but to those who are playing 2 months prior to the expansion, it's a reward for paying for a sub 2 months prior to the expansion instead of jumping on the bandwagon and coming back when the expansion drops, right? So good on you. If Yoshida wants to give you a four-person mount for logging in 2 months early, come on. You deserve it.
And if you're logging in September thinking it's the expansion, then you can just do the event.
There you go.
Because that's fall.
That's what they're banking on. People think it's fall.
By the way, I hope to Azim or Nofika that I hope there's a slide missing here, because there is September and then it goes to November.
Uh-huh.
And October's not here, y'all.
And
What's in October?
I don't see any pumpkins.
Where is All Saints Wake? Where is the carnival wanting to do horrible, scary things to people? And then
are they getting screwed again for the second year in a row?
Honestly, I'm going to be honest here. Even if it was a recycled event, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah.
But I'm sad a bit to see it not
just
here.
Open the haunted house.
In fact,
something.
I'm kind of a proponent at this point in this game to just make all the seasonal items available at every event. They won't, because they're all in the MOG station.
That's right.
But I would prefer an actual All Saints Wake storyline that has a bit of the, a bit of running around and a bit of glamour and a bit of the... They could just put the Haunted Mansion back in, but I like the storylines where the circus is like, we'll do this evil thing, mwahaha, and then it's like, whatever happens. Mm-hmm. But I understand November is right after that with the expansion, but the expansion is the expansion's at the end of the month.
Right.
Right? I feel like I'm hoping they just had an oversight here. And I'm not the only one. Halloween's my favorite.
It is for many.
Event.
And it's one of the cuter events.
And as someone born in early November, Halloween has a special place in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
So did you see my discussion about May baskets and no one knew what the fuck that was in Discord?
Oh. No, I missed that.
No. So where I grew up, this is too long at being an hour and a half, so cut it if you want to, but where I grew up, May Day was a thing, right? The 1st of May, not like, it wasn't Beltane exactly, but the 1st of May, we would go to the grocery store previously, buy up a bunch of strawberries, because they used to come, I'm an old lady, they used to come in these green baskets.
Yeah, the little wire basket kind of thingy.
No, they were plastic when I.
But yeah, but they looked mesh.
Yeah, they look mesh. Yep. So you would buy strawberries and eat them or whatever. I love strawberries. And then you would take the green basket, you put a pipe cleaner through it and make it a basket. And you'd fill the bottom with popcorn, and then you'd fill the rest with candy, unwrapped candy, right? Because this all happened in one day. So you put jelly beans or whatever you wanted to on top of the popcorn. And then you would take your May basket and walk over to your neighbor's house and put it on their front step. And then you would ring their doorbell. And when they came to the door, you would run away. And they would chase. This sounds so unconsensual. I almost feel bad talking about it. But it was not as creepy as it sounds, because we were all, 6 years old.
Yeah.
So your friend would come to the door and see the May basket and see you, and they would chase you, and they would catch you, and they'd get you just a little chaste kiss. Just a little smooch. Just a friendly kiss. And you could avoid it if you didn't want to. But that was what you did. So just go Google May baskets. It's a big deal in some places. But we did this shit all the time. So I'm May baskets would be so cute in this game, I think. Maybe not the chasing and the unconsensual kissing, but I keep thinking of there are other seasonal events than Easter,
right,
and Christmas, but it would make me really sad. And I live in Minnesota, so Halloween, half the time you had your costume you picked out weeks ago, and then you had to wear a snow coat over it and boots anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So, but no, but then in November, Endwalker's there, and I took the week off, and I'm gonna have an amazing time. So, we've already started crafting the Grade 3 Free Company buffs for the Make It Rain campaign. I say we, but I mean Bell Dandy.
Sure. But anybody in the Free Company can contribute if they like.
Yeah. So in July we're gonna make all the MGP.
Well, I mean, and that's a good tip that you said right there, because if you have the capability of sending your dutes out, I call them my dutes, your squadron out, try to do the stuff that'll net you the increased MGP. You can go for the 2 buffs, but I mean, you can buy the 2 buffs, but if you can win the 3 buff, the 15%, try to get it. It may be worth your time.
Oh, and in our Free Company, it's not fucking amazing. We're good, but we've usually managed to have a buff or 2 for the Make It Rain campaign. And, and people can get, like, stuff they couldn't afford before or whatever. Whew. They didn't then go on to a Q&A with Ishikawa. Oh, I might be too tired to read much more, but...
Well, I tried to watch it, and I caught most of it. I thought it was a good Q&A. It's not... I hate to say this. Some of these things are not, like, what I'm super interested in. Like, I'm interested in the content more than I am, like... why they make certain stuff.
Why no peaches?
Things like, where's the peaches? Where's my eggy glamour? Some of this, and of course this is separate from the other Q&A, which we'll talk about briefly because I thought that was a train wreck in and of itself. But there were some tidbits, like they talked about Thancred. People thought Thancred was like permanently blind, but it was just like a minor injury. And I guess some stuff about his skin color changing.
No. The whole Thancred thing was easily in the MSQ.
Yeah, I don't even understand.
I scratched my eye and put on an eye patch, and then it healed up quickly. But I thought I looked more fetching with the eye patch.
Yes.
That really was it.
Yes. It's just anyway, and I don't know if you watched this part, Yelta, if there was anything that popped out at you. I didn't have anything major.
I didn't watch it. I passed out by here.
I got you. I feel you. So anyway, go through it, watch it, or I guess you'd need to read it. I don't remember if that part was translated. I think it was though. So anyway, and there were other panels, Yelta, and. To me, I watched some of them. But
I drifted in and out, right? Some were like...
I would say the most impactful of like the bunch would have been the live Q&A. But, okay, so I watched the live Q&A, and I watched it from my room. There was a reason why I had to like move to my office, and I watched it in here. And I quickly kind of went away from it and did something else. I think partially it's because like they gave... It was in Japanese and English, and they had some questions that were in Japanese and then were translated into English, and there were some English speakers that asked questions and that were translated into Japan. And I think the first question was from a Japanese speaker, a woman, and somehow her one question was like a 7-parter. Because Yoshida just went on and on and on and on. And I don't even remember the content of the question. I mean, this is how terrible I tuned out of the Q&A. I don't even remember the content of the question, but it just went on and on and on and on. And I don't think there was a question that resonated with me on any level. At least not something I can think of off the top of my head. And I'm not even talking about where's Peaches, where is Eggy Glamour. I think they were more like... stuff that you would have asked, like Ishikawa, like what was the design choice behind this, or what was this like? I don't remember there being anything that was like, how come we don't
there
have
there was
X?
very little groundbreaking stuff, right?
Right.
With this, so I didn't watch it at the time, but I went back and skipped around the video, and I'm like, I'm not saying the questions were stupid.
No.
I'm just saying they were super worthy of live letter or not FanFest time.
I was reading the chat, and people were saying like, well, other than that the first question was super long, but that, you know, obviously these questions were vetted. They were softball questions. They really weren't like content related questions. So, you know, I just
and I don't mind if questions are vetted. I don't mind if they're vetted because I don't want to hear again why, I don't know, Spriggans aren't the master race or where's the Hildebrand quest.
Right.
I'd like an answer to those questions, but if they have decided not to answer that question previously, I don't expect them to answer them live on a live letter.
Right.
Or live on the stream.
Right. If there was something good out of that Q&A, you won't hear it here on this podcast because we didn't really care too much. And I didn't watch Naoki's Room. I watched a little bit of what was that? Glamour to Life. I did watch. I watched that. So like this is if you hover over the schedule, this is not how it was. That's obviously like a in live thing. They had categories, and it was people's submissions of pictures. Yeah. And they were all vetted down to about like 7 entries, and then they put the 7 up there, and then they were voted for by, I guess, either, I don't know if it was by the audience, but at the end, you know, like Yoshida and them and all that got to put their picks in, and it was good for the most part. I was kind of sad that there wasn't a job category. Because it was like Warrior of Light, but Makote, NPCs, and there was just a bunch of other ones that were in there. And I was sad there was no job. And I was also like, some of the categories, you could tell that they put like a good one, and they would put like a really bad one right after it. And it's like, how did this one get to like the top 7? This is like somebody made a sock puppet. Like this isn't good. This isn't good. And they really did that in one category where somebody had submitted their Innocence costume. And this looked bad ass. Like the wings and everything. Innocence is sprawled out on a big cushion or mattress or something and just looking sexy. And then the next one they put after it was somebody with like a broom in their face and like a, you know, some underwear on their head, and they called it Xenos or some shit. And it's like, you guys know what you're fucking doing. This was more comedy than it was cosplay.
Well, I feel like it would have been received better if they did the comedy ones, 2 or 3 comedy ones first, and then went on after that. I respect and enjoy comedy, but I don't want that to be the focus.
Right. But it was what it was. I tried to watch a little bit of Who Wants to Be a Gillionaire, and this is not. I just couldn't. That's all I'm gonna say. I couldn't really make it through it.
I clicked on. I went back and forth through the.
I just couldn't. And that's really it. I seriously though watched both the piano concert and the Primals concert.
I watched both the concerts afterwards and enjoyed them so much.
So I think you do too, Yelta. I don't know if did you ever buy that album, the most recent Scions and Sinners album?
I don't know.
It had the piano.
Maybe.
It has the piano and it has the Primal stuff on there. And they played a lot of it, although I thought the Primal set was more different than their album. It had more variety from their past albums, whereas the piano concert was very much the new stuff. It was very much the stuff that was on the Scions and Sinners album. But what I was really happy to see was a lot of Amanda Aiken. She did, she did all 3 of the numbers that was on there. And it was kind of neat how they did that, where it was like pre-recorded. They had Shadowbringers. And so, you know, it was neat to see the singers portrayed on the screen. But Amanda Aiken is just so good. It's those songs are so, especially Return to Oblivion. Oh my God. it's hard to understand the lyrics to Return to Oblivion because she sings it. It's sung so fast in game, and you're just in the middle of a fight. But the
oh god, that's like Titan. All I know is bow down Overdweller.
Yeah,
and fucking Titan, but that's not really
fuck
there.
you, Titan. But the Return to Oblivion theme sung slower by Amanda Aiken is just gorgeous. I listen to it a lot, to be quite honest. So
I think I missed that completely. I should go back.
It's that was a great concert. So Primals concert, again, it was varied. There was a lot of different stuff from their other albums. Of course we had the stuff from Shadowbringers, but I really like that, like the finale was a bunch of stuff from Heavensward. It was all the Locusts and all of the stuff from the Alexander Raid Rise.
What'd you think about the meme, dancing meme with the tank, the healer, 2 DPS?
Oh my god,
that was so well done.
Oh,
I laughed so hard.
Okay, so let's talk about
the meme.
Yeah, I knew that meme too, but it took me a minute to dawn. It took me a second that it dawned on me that it actually was the meme, because I was like, oh, DPS, whatever, up here. And then I was like, wait, that's the dance. And I think it took me...
No. I was like, oh my god, they went there!
I can't believe that they had the brilliance to pull that off. That was freaking amazing. And it was like a really good show.
They must pay attention to the shit we talk about, right? That's all I can think of, is they must pay attention. Well, even we know from in-game text sometimes, they know the shit we joke about, because they make that joke two patches later. They listen to they read our tweets and they look at our...
He's full of memes, yeah.
Yeah. So, it was so good. I retweeted so many of the... Have you heard about the acclaimed Final Fantasy IV?
Critically acclaimed Final Fantasy XIV goes up to level 60. So that was brilliant. And how could I forget in the piano concert, SOKEN coming out with the automaton. And this Yelta, I fucking died. Like multiple times. And he says, do you know Lahi? Oh my god. So, I mean, like, just at the jump, the name of the song is Civilizations. The name of the song is not Lahi. But my interpretation of his performance is, every one of us who sing Civilizations are really singing Lahi, which is you and my shower/car version of Civilizations, which is us singing terribly, making crazy facial expressions, making up the words because the words are complete gibberish anyway. And
no, they've already announced that's not real lyrics. It's just whatever.
So what SOKEN's singing is Lahi. It's the same Lahi you and I sing when we look like that in the car, singing at the top of our lungs or in the shower. That is Lahi. But the fact that this man got the automatones, 2 of them, and is playing on both while going gibberish, Lahi, and then the face that Kaiko is making in the background.
See, my face was Kaiko's face, because I tuned in and I started listening and I'm like, okay, I can see you're joking, but what the fuck, dude? I had Kaiko's face. Has grown on me upon listening again and again.
Oh my gosh!
Like, I'm just like, and then I had somebody post that something like, and SOKEN never had played a automaton before, and I'm like, he played one in 2016. I have the YouTube video.
Yeah, we were there. We saw it live, but. And then the ending of it, and he's just doing the ooh, and all. Oh my gosh! I was rolling on the floor. I was on the floor crying.
Upon rewatching, I found it more entertaining. At first, I'm like, "What the fuck?"
I just knew. I just knew that is you.
I was slow to catch on. It's me, not him. I was slow to catch on. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
It's SOKEN. I mean, it's not quite, him kicking a box while playing Lost City of Amdapor, but it...
Yeah, see, that I got. But somehow Lahi just flew over my head, is really what it was.
It's brilliant. SOKEN is a brilliant man. So, let's talk about SOKEN.
Yeah. Let's talk about SOKEN.
This was kind of the culmination of everything at the end of the concert.
Oh, the Primals concert was over.
They did the announcements.
It was amazing, and then they're like, "Oh, the lights are still up."
And I do want to say there were some amazing people, amazing translators. We got to meet Aaron, who was the.
I got like 700 retweets on my post about I can't remember her name with the pink hair.
Yeah, Erin.
I forgot it. I'm like, she's like, I'm super fucking nervous. And I'm like, you're doing an amazing job. You're my hero.
Yeah, amazing. I love that Amy got a shout out too because she couldn't be there because of the pandemic. But so they're doing this. They're doing this shout out. They're doing this showcase, and Yoshida yields his time, and he brings SOKEN over. And he can't face the audience. He breaks into tears. And we all know, those of us who have been there since the beginning, when Yoshida can't face the audience, he's in tears. And he cried whenever he thanked the fans for 2.0 and the amazing response.
When he apologized for anything failure, or
anytime he's turned his back. He's turned his back to the audience. And this was a serious moment. He announced that SOKEN had been diagnosed with cancer. And for 6 months, he had been working out of a hospital, but that SOKEN begged to work. He said it's his life work. He would die without the work. He wants to work. And so through the help of HR, because several times it was brought up that HR makes them work their 40 hours and
then says go home.
And then says go home.
Done.
Hey, Square Enix ain't one of them kind of gaming companies, right?
Well, and I've seen a lot of, why are you working so many hours? It's the Japanese culture or whatever. And I'm like, maybe, but.
Yeah. And he even says in the interview that it is a very frowned upon thing now to overwork your employees. 10 years ago it wouldn't have been, but now it is. But anyway, that SOKEN had been working nonstop during his treatment while he was going through chemotherapy. He was working on Seed of Sacrifice music. He was working on Warrior of Light music. And fans it resonated with, said they could feel that in the lyrics. When you go back and you listen to the lyrics, there's something about it being your last time or your last chance or something in there. And that SOKEN was pouring his heart into that song. But SOKEN explained about, what he did, and Yoshida just was thanking him and told him that when he announced 2.0 and told him they were scrapping 1.0 and going into 2.0 and rebuilding the engine and all the other stuff, one person in that crowd went up to him and was like, "Ganbate, like we going, like let's do this,
go hard." And
it was SOKEN, and he said that's the only face in that crowd he remembers at that announcement was SOKEN's face. And SOKEN has been with us. God, Yelta, we've had SOKEN there since the Burger King memes and him fighting Meteor with the helmet.
No. I was gonna abduct him in the elevator in the first Fan Fest.
Right.
I was alone with him in an elevator, and I'm like, his English was, I knew no Japanese. Yeah. And in fact, I walked in the elevator before him. He walked in by himself after me. I recognized him, and I just stood there. And he just basically like pushed the button for the floor. And then he's like, "Are you coming?" His English was so bad. He's like, "Are you going to come to the concert tomorrow night?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Hell yeah.
I almost picked him up and took him with us.
That's right. Wait, I mean, you could have.
I could have.
God, this man's amazing. I had to give him a little tribute on my own Twitter because I've met him so many times. He's signed stuff. The guy is amazing, and this game would not be the same without him. Yoshida knows that, but it's more than that. It's a brotherhood. It's something that permeates more than just, we work together. This game is special, and special to a lot of people. And I think it's also important to note that, we dealt with a pandemic. Well, he went through this during a pandemic. That's one aspect.
He was doing chemo while the pandemic was just starting, and then while it was at its height.
Crazy. So, one takeaway for me personally is, my God, you never know what people are going through. This man is pumping out music. Mm-hmm. He's doing his work. Things are going. And he's going through such a tough time. And I think that's a testament to like maybe the heart of this community is that I think there is a sensitivity in the Final Fantasy XIV community by a large part of the player base that does understand other people. I think that's what makes it very friendly to diverse viewpoints and lifestyles, is that there is an empathy and I don't know, like a heart, I guess, to the game. And so just
some of it's about passion.
Yeah.
Some of these people, he is passionate about his music and making the music for this game good. And Yoshi P is passionate about making this the best game he can. Koji, I only wish that I could have a job that I feel like would make me smile like Koji Fox when he's standing up on stage.
Right. Yeah, it's amazing to see their passion through their work, and they're unashamed of it. You know, they just plow forward. So anyway, that's all I'll say about that. But welcome back, SOKEN. The hashtag was trending. Welcome back, SOKEN. We're so happy to have you. Thank you for what you've done for us thus far. We can't wait to hear what you have in store for us for Endwalker.
I'm just going to say something we have said before on this podcast a few times. Fuck cancer.
Fuck cancer. Absolutely.
Fuck cancer.
It's worked every time. Fuck cancer.
No, I cried like a baby when Ishikawa was saying, and I kept asking you for the song to be 2 or 3 seconds shorter or longer, and you were in the hospital. And that's when I cried like a baby.
Nobody knew. The devs didn't. The other people didn't know. It was a very, very small selection of people who were aware of what was happening. And that was not for pride reasons. I think that was more for he didn't want people to focus on other things. Yeah, pull back and focus.
But not ask him for anything.
Yeah. So yeah, that's a heavy topic, but we're glad SOKEN is here.
Yeah, and it sounds like he's in like early remission.
Yes.
We hope it's massively forever remission.
You know, I was talking to Senna about this. My last note is that we lost the Warrior of Light, the Father of Light, Daddy of Light, to cancer. I believe was the case, right? So,
Dad of Light,
yeah,
yes.
that hits hard, and I think that wasn't said during any of this, but that's got to be there somewhere underneath. Is that we lost Daddy of Light, the father figure in that, to cancer, and so it's unfortunate, but that we've been devastated by cancer in this community, and we don't want to see that. You know, we don't want to see it. We hate it. Fuck cancer. So.
I am really happy to see all the. There have been many. I don't know what you'd call them. Campaigns, anti-cancer campaigns in this last week. People, working on gathering money and doing like streams for money or whatever.
This is at this point I'm gonna make is gonna get buried, but I saw a tweet today of somebody comparing a charity event to RMT because a group of people were doing a charity event that you can get a clear, like an ultimate clear. If you donate to a charity, we'll run you through a thing. It's not RMT because the money never goes into the hands of the people doing the ultimate fight, right? It goes straight.
Yeah, it might be technically money trading, but it's for for a cause.
So it doesn't get.
It's not for
and there's no. I guess there's no
company's coffers.
I guess it would be harder to do the quid pro quo on that, I guess.
There's no quid pro quo.
But I saw a weird tweet that was comparing it to RMT cell, like actual RMT cell, and it was just it's a very odd take. But anyway, I will digress. But
but fuck cancer, and this community is amazing.
It's amazing. Can I blow through some of this stuff on here?
Blow through it.
So we talked about the Collector's Edition already. The cool shit that came out of that. So we'll pass through that. It was QVC time, not only in the showcase.
Definitely by our shit time.
They even called it the Home Shopping Network at one time. I swear I heard them say the phrase Home Shopping Network at the end of the keynote. That was by Foxconn. we have a bunch of stuff that's on the Lodestone. So the Digital FanFest commemorative items are still on sale here. You can get the Lunar Whale, which is an 8-person mount, the very first.
10.
Everybody's got that. They were building walls
10.
with
what
this. Just what?
There was I got a Lunar Whale. It's
pretty sexy.
What's really funny about the Lunar Whale is when you ride it, no one shows up. It's just the whale running around with your names outside of it.
Oh.
There's no mount state. There's no pillion.
It's like
stations.
you're getting in it. You're inside of it. They shrunk you and you're inside of it. Something like that.
I don't think you have to shrink, but you're deep.
But your head doesn't stick out of it.
Nope.
You're in it. Okay. There's the Minions, Edge, Rydia, Rosa. That's more of the Final Fantasy IV stuff. Orchestrion rolls, and Pulse stuff. This is all new merchandise. All of these say new merchandise. So yeah, it was all new at the time. These figurines were there on the counter. I think Ishikawa had them in front of her at one point. I really like the way they look, especially the Crystal Exarch. We've got the great...
and the Warrior of Darkness. Yeah, both of them look really good. I like the memes that are like, now kiss.
Now kiss. Great Serpent of Veronica, super cute. These glasses I've seen before. Maybe I've even seen Yoshida drink out of it, I think, at a previous deal. But these...
I've seen so many forms of those same wine glasses where they put some logo on them. But yeah, no, so the glasses are the ones I've been the super closest to buying.
Those are really nice.
Because wine.
You got jewelry. Yoshida loves jewelry. I think that the staff was wearing some of the devs were wearing this. The wallets, the bags. I think the wallet will the eyeglass case. That one actually looks kind of cool because it folds in on itself.
I thought about that
but then it kind of folds into a triangle.
I wear glasses. Yeah, I wear glasses, so I actually have thought about the eyeglass case.
I'm kind of sad I never picked up a mask. I think at the time when they released that, I was like, this stuff won't be around forever. Anyway, but they've got a lot of these items in that black matte finish with the jobstones on it, so that's pretty neat, including the fanny pack. And then we've got this thing was weird. It was like a book, but it's not a book. It's actually where you store your weed. Oops,
it's like a storage
It's
box?
A little wooden box that you
weed?
put your drugs. Sorry, it's a little wooden box that you can keep your keepsakes in or whatever. Sorry.
I'm not sure what I would put in there.
But I would put drugs in it.
Honestly,
it's probably what would ultimately happen.
I actually think it looks amazing, but I don't know what I would do with it.
It's neat. You'd hide your drugs in it, Yelta, and put it on your bookshelf.
I don't have drugs! I'm an adult and I only drink booze.
I don't know. Hide Advil in it. I don't know what to tell you. These Jobstone magnets are amazing looking. I want them all.
They look good.
The vinyls I don't quite understand. I don't know how much music you can actually put on a vinyl, but there's 4 of them here. So you got A-side and B-side, I imagine. Maybe it's the greatest hits. I didn't really delve into it to look at see what tracks were.
Nah, I nope out of vinyls.
A lot of old pictures here. These are the covers of those albums. And then we got the art book. I've seen some contests floating around.
Order the new art book.
If you see any Twitter contests, I've joined them. Follow me on Twitter to follow the contests.
There's at least 2 Twitter contests, right? There's like the FanFest sticker or frame contest, and there's the getting to the last floor of Unzar contest.
Yeah. So that's that stuff. Other new merchandise, because there's more. We got a water bottle. You can get this aluminum water bottle. That's a thing.
Oh, by the way, I ordered too many different separate orders, and I can't get the water bottle, so I'm not going to spend another $120.
Well, if you've got about $3,500 laying around, you can also get the Fender Final Fantasy XIV collaboration guitar. Yeah. It's a Stratocaster.
It looks nice. I like the limit break pickup bar.
It's kind of neat.
That looked amazing.
Kind of neat.
The fact that I really like the purple and white crystal motifs, but I wish they went like another 3 inches into the guitar.
Yeah, I agree with that too. I mean, that epoxy, the purple resin kind of thing, and the blue and the core, I think are great. I think I would almost wish there was when you go into limit break, it lights an LED up and those part glow. Or it's a little deeper and you get a little more of that look that's in it. But
I don't play guitar, but my son does. Yeah. And he looked at this and he's like, it's kind of cool. He's like, why aren't there really cool... I can't remember the word he used. So there is the meteor icon on the neck, but he's like, why aren't there... I can't remember what he called them. There should have been some other decorations on that neck, in his opinion.
Oh, I see. Maybe for the harmonic frets or something. I don't know. Who knows? But
yeah,
I can see that. There should be more shit on it.
It looks good, but I'm not going to buy it.
Put some bumper stickers on it. Who knows?
They are limited edition, and they can only make so many a month.
I thought it was cool. The one they had on stage was the 000.
000, yes.
But it's coming to the game. You can play the electric guitar in game, the same one SOKEN is selling you. And feel free to jam out. I know a lot of people were also flagging Ackmorn on this, our previous rep, because she plays the guitar.
Yeah.
So that's cute. Happy birthday, Shannon. Okay, here's my jam right here.
Did you do the watch? Did you talk about the... Let's
talk about the watch, because if there's anything that your boy Ruby is interested in, it's this watch. It is an expensive watch. It's a Citizen watch, but that means that it's got EcoDrive technology. Then you never have to replace the batteries. My Cinna says that has something to do with kinetic energy as you bangle or walk
Something
around.
said solar.
Yeah, I had read solar somewhere too, so I don't know if it's solar. I don't know if it's kinetic in some way, shape, or form. I think it'd be cool if it was solar, especially because I want the light watch. There's the dark mode, the darkness model, and a light model. The darkness model is larger. It looks like a large men's watch with all the nice little dials and stuff sticking off of it. And it has it's black for the most part, kind of a dark silver, a gunmetal or something. And then there's purple, the 12 surround, the 12's icon surround it.
It looks amazing. That the 12 circle.
It is.
That looks
it
great.
Is so hot. And then you've got the light version, which is a smaller face, a smaller band. It's silver with a white and silver band, and the face is almost a pearlescent kind of. It's got a blue, but it reminds you kind of the crystal. To be quite honest,
it's a Heidelin glow. Blue.
All right, and then the surrounding, it also has the 12, but the 12, instead of appearing on the actual numbers, they appear between. So you've got the two different styles. Personally, I'm a fan of light because I don't like large clunky accessories. I like something more tight-fitting. And when they showed this, I turned to Cinna and I said, I really wish that it wasn't a white band. I wish it was silver. And then they opened the box and there's a silver band inside, stainless steel. So it's $350, is expensive, and you can pre-order it up through the end of June. But boy howdy, I think I may be picking one of these guys up and really enjoying it. I just think it's a cool thing that if somebody sees it on your wrist, they're going to be like, one, Citizen watch, because it's a good watch brand, and then two, like, that's an interesting design, and then you'd be like, have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG
Final Fantasy
14
with a free trial up to level 6?
Oh yeah, that's where it's at, buddy. So I just think it's pretty suave looking, and I don't mind dropping $350. I know it's a hefty sum, but I think it's going to get released around the holidays, so it's like an early Christmas present for myself or something.
Well, it's interesting to me that they must have done enough market research to realize enough people have expendable income to buy a Stratocaster guitar and or a couple of watches.
That's it.
Now, mind you, I can't play the guitar, so probably won't buy that. B, I can't wear watches. They die on my wrist.
I thought you were going to say you can't tell time. That would have been bad.
No, I can tell time. Every watch I've ever owned in my entire life has just suddenly stopped on my skin. But that said, if they had the black watch that looked more like the white watch, I would probably consider it. I don't like the light. I'm always night theme everything, right? But I don't like that big watch with the extra dials, if they had the white watch in the black theme, I might consider buying it just
You can have Nofika on your wrist permanently. Like, I will have the biggest goddess titties just right there at my reach. I can pray to her.
Just big old titties.
Big old titties right there. Pray to her at any moment. You're right, because you're not marketing to just Gen Z.
These aren't like 20-year-olds who can't make their rent. This is like these are not children using mom's credit card. These are people who have expendable income.
That's right.
So I looked at the Stratocaster and I'm like, I've always wanted to learn guitar, but I'm not going to buy that. But if I did, I might think about it.
They're tasteful brands. They're quality brands. This isn't swatches.
They're not knockoff shit.
Right.
This is major collaboration events. Yes. My son came in and he's like, well, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but it's actually Fender. It's actually Stratocaster.
Right.
And I showed him it and he's like, okay, that seems legit. And I was like, what about the price? He's like, oh no, Mom, this shit gets expensive.
Yeah, and there's a theme to it. It's got a Final Fantasy logo on it. They're going to jack the price up a little bit because it's not just somebody who only plays guitar.
This is a collector item.
Isn't going to just go buy this. I mean, there's other wah-wah pedals and other stuff and other guitars and stuff. And he explained why the limit break thing does. And that's all well and good. And I've heard critiques about it as well. So, it's for the collector. It's for those that want the Final Fantasy thing on their good stuff. Again, I could slap a Final Fantasy sticker on anything, but that doesn't really make it, like, cool. But if I'm wearing a Citizen watch and I'm at some kind of hoity-toity event and somebody's go like, hey, that's a nice watch because they recognize the brand, I think that whatever business development or marketing person came up with this, that's good stuff.
All right. So if you've blown your load on watches and guitars, there is going to be the Stratocaster in-game. Mm-hmm. Now, mind you, I don't like super modern stuff in this game. It feels really out of place for me. But I'll get over it. But the Stratocaster is going to be in-game.
Yeah. I think it's fine. Well, I thought you were going to say, Yelta, if you hadn't blown all your cash on guitars and you hadn't blown your cash on watches, you still can drop $5 on a Butterfinger and get the Kapura.
Oh, no, my husband already dropped like $20 on Butterfingers for me. Just to be...
Yeah.
It's cute, by the way.
It is. Cinna's got hers. She's been bouncing around on her little chocolate puff here, so.
It's a pain in the ass to... Okay. So, my husband went to 2 stores and got 2 receipts. He lost one of the receipts, so that's out of play. So, he had a receipt, and I scanned it in per contest, or per promotion things. Scanned it in, and got rejected. And on a second email address, because I'm bad, I scanned it again, just cropped the tiniest a bit, and it was approved. So, I'm just... it makes me, I don't like waiting 2 days to find out if I get the mount, especially when people are posting shit like, they're all sold out, or whatever. But anyway, the mount itself is adorable. I love the Kokupur, this chocolate one. I also agree with the people who are like, this should have been the Valentine's Day reward. But at the same time, I understand there's crossovers and promotions or whatever. I just wish it would have been easier to prove you bought the thing without waiting 2 days. That's all.
Yeah. Well, it got us back in the game. That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
Thanks, Butterfinger. Crispy Crunchy. We were talking about Butterfinger earlier. Was this before the podcast? I explained the flavor has changed,
right? So my husband buys me candy bars all the time. He cannot resist an end cap at a grocery store that has a sale, or something that has a sale at the checkouts at a gas station or whatever. So I get a lot of candy bars. My husband, he brought me 3 candy bars today. So Butterfinger has changed a little bit. I'm not sure if the chocolate's different, like Ruby was saying earlier. But we both agree, I think, that the crunchy bits don't get stuck in your teeth as much, whether for better or worse. And what did you say? It doesn't have as much of a peanut butter taste.
Yeah, I found it a mixed bag because when we were eating it, my Senna was like, Butterfinger is the best candy bar now. Like, whatever they did to change it, she hated Butterfingers before, she loves them now. And I was like, the chocolate's not bad. It actually doesn't get stuck in my teeth, but I just wish it tasted more peanut buttery like it used to. It just had more of a buttery or a peanut buttery kind of flavor. It's not bad, but maybe it's the fact that it don't stick in my teeth, but I just am not getting that flavor, that fuller flavor like it used to have. But, we got over all the French fries changing their oil, and we've gotten over Girl Scout cookies changing their recipe. Somehow I haven't forgotten, but, we've gotten over all that shit. So I too will enjoy Butterfinger in the future, even though they've made some changes to their recipe.
But Reese's is my jam.
Yeah, that shit's good. Don't ever change Snickers either. Don't fuck a Snickers up.
All right, we're at like 2
That's
hours.
It, man.
So
I'm spent.
I haven't even drank that much. I think I'm just tired. I'm not used to this. Taking a break was bad.
Well, we got to get back in shape. So start exercising your lungs, Yelta, because we're back. Mm-hmm. We'll come back in another couple of weeks, and hopefully there's some more news for everybody.
Yeah. All right, at least we can talk about playing the game. In fact, spoilers. We talked a little bit before starting recording. We need to have a fucking contest, so we're gonna have a contest.
That's right. And it'll be something about the vast wasteland. Maybe there's a drought out
and
there.
Thirst. We've talked about droughts and thirst, and whatever way you want to, display your thirst.
Quench that thirst.
R-rated shit.
We'll figure it out, and we'll give you a way to play.
We'll have something. All right, but then it's closing time. Sorry, I just ate a bite of a candy bar.
Damn you, Butterfinger!
No, this is a Reese's Fast Break king size because I don't have enough sugar in my blood. Alright, it's closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find links to all of our episodes and blog posts on our website, www.gtfxiv.com. While you're there, please leave us a comment. And if you'd like to, you can support us by clicking the donation button. And thank you to all who have. You can find us on Twitter at GTFXIV. Email us at gtfxiv@gmail.com. Please rate us. Personal plugs, Ruby.
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Rubicon Vale, RUBICONVALE.
And you can find me on Twitter at Yelta Sumasu, YELTASUMASU. As always, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
That's the meat. 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 The meat.